Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this month's DBT skills lesson. We're continuing our module of interpersonal effectiveness skills. This is part 2, or November. Whenever you're listening to this, I appreciate you joining me. Last month, I attempted to go over just an overview of what interpersonal effectiveness skills are, what do they mean, what's the goal here in this module. So go back to last month or October if you want that refresher. I gave an overview on what the goals are in interpersonal effectiveness. As you know, we love our acronyms, so I'm going into more detail about those acronyms that go along with interpersonal effectiveness. The first acronym is technically 2 words. It's Dear Man. These skills are guidelines for objectives effectiveness. What the heck does that mean? It's basically assertiveness skills, because you're trying to obtain your objective or a certain goal in a particular situation where you're interacting with somebody. And so another way to describe these skills are assertiveness skills. How can we be assertive, get what we want, not in a manipulative way, in a kind, tactful way that's respectful, of course. So, Dear Man, what does this stand for? Allow me to explain. The D is describe. I know you've heard me mention this in other months, other modules of the hub. Describe the current situation if necessary. Stick to the facts. Tell the other person exactly what you're reacting to. One example. You told me you would be home by dinner, but you didn't get here until 11. Sticking with the facts, describing the situation. D, describe. E, express. Express your feelings and opinions about the situation. Don't assume that the other person knows how you feel. I've been guilty of this several times. We always assume they know how we feel. You can never assume that if you want to be truly savvy, truly effective, truly assertive in your communications with others. So a way to express your feeling and opinion about, using the example I just used. When you come home so late, I start worrying about you. So using phrases as I want instead of you should, or I don't want instead of you shouldn't. Try to resist that urge to should yourself or someone else. E, express. Now A, D-E-A. Describe, express. A, assert. Assert yourself by asking for what you want or saying no clearly. Do not assume that others will figure out what you want. No one's a mind reader here. So using that same example, I would really like it if you would call me when you're going to be late. Assert yourself by asking for what you want or saying no clearly. R in Dear Man is reinforce. Reinforce the other person ahead of time if you can by explaining the positive effects of getting what you want or need. I would be so relieved if you could call me when you're going to be late. I'd be a lot easier to live with. It would ease my anxiety. It would just help our ability to connect, communicate effectively. If you could call me when you're going to be late. R in Dear Man, reinforce. Another word for that is, I guess, reward, kind of like positively rewarding, positively affirming. Reinforce by explaining the positive effects. So Dear, we have describe, express, assert, and reinforce or reward. 4 different ways to be assertive in your objectives effectiveness. Now, Man, M-A-N, the M stands for mindful, stay mindful. Love this one, of course. Focus on your goals, maintain your position. Don't be distracted, don't get off topic. Mindful, we're present, we're staying present in our communication. We're non-judgmental. You may keep asking or saying no or expressing your opinion over and over, but honestly, it is okay. You may feel like just a broken record, but it's honestly okay. Ignore attacks from the other person if this upsets them. If another person attacks, threatens, tries to change the subject, ignore the threats, comments, or attempts to divert you. Try not to respond. Ignore distractions, and just keep making your point. If this takes place, I would still like a call when you're going to be late. M, stay mindful. A is appear confident, appear effective. Use a confident voice, tone, and physical manner. Make good eye contact. If you have to fake it till you make it, that's okay. Try to avoid using statements as, I don't know, I'm not sure. Just remain firm in your position. N is negotiate. Be willing to give in order to get. Offer and ask for other solutions to the problem. Maybe reduce your request if needed. If you have to say no, but offer to do something else. Solve the problem another way. Focus on what will work. One example of collaborating with the other person, you could say, what do you think we should do here? I'm not able to say yes. You really seem to want me to. What can we do? How can we solve this problem? That is still being assertive. It really is. Just because you don't have an answer, it doesn't mean you have to totally give in. I do believe there's a way to still stay firm in your position. And that's what we recommend here in these Dear Man assertiveness skills. So Dear, describe, express, assert, and reinforce. Man, stay mindful, appear confident, and negotiate. Those are your guidelines for objectives, effectiveness, or getting what you want. Staying assertive, advocating for yourself, while not getting to that aggressive or passive side. Now, I also went over briefly the relationship effectiveness last month. The acronym that goes with that is GIVE, G-I-V-E. So that's kind of an easy way to help you remember. Be willing to maybe give a little in your relationships. The G stands for gentle. Be gentle. Be nice and respectful. No attacks of any kind. No threats of any kind. No judging. No sneering. All of those things that are the nonverbal cues, trying to keep those on the positive side rather than the aggressive negative side, can help us to stay gentle in our interactions. The I in give stands for act interested. Listen and appear interested in the other person. Listen to the other person's point of view. Face them, maintain the eye contact if you can. Try to lean towards them rather than away. Be careful not to interrupt or talk over the other person. Be sensitive to their wishes to have the discussion at a later time if they ask that. And be patient. I is act interested. The V in give stands for validate. With words and actions, show that you understand the other person's feelings and thoughts about the situation. See the world from the other person's point of view and then say or act on what you see. For example, I realize this is hard for you, or I see that you're busy. Those are two ways to validate what the other person is doing. Maybe even going to a private place if they're uncomfortable talking in a public setting. So there are different ways to validate with words and actions to show that you understand the other person's situation. Now the E in give stands for use an easy manner. A little humor, smile, ease the person along, be lighthearted, sweet talk. Use a soft sell over a hard sell. Leave your attitude at the door. So this is kind of a full circle because obviously this incorporates being gentle. So guidelines for relationship effectiveness, keeping your relationship, be willing to give, be gentle, act interested, validate, use an easy manner. Those are all ways you can maintain your relationship effectiveness. And then finally, we have the guidelines for self-respect effectiveness, which is keeping respect for yourself. This acronym is FAST, F-A-S-T. F is be fair, A is no apologies, S is stick to values, and T, be truthful. Keeping respect for yourself using the FAST acronym. Be fair. Be fair to yourself and to the other person. Remember to validate your own feelings and wishes, as well as the other person's. Being fair to yourself and others. No apologies. Don't apologize. Don't over apologize. Looking in the mirror here, especially. It's still something I'm working on. No apologize for being alive, making a request at all, having an opinion, disagreeing. Don't look ashamed with eyes or head down or body slumped. No invalidating the valid. No apologies. S, stick to values, meaning your own values. Don't sell out your values or integrity for reasons that aren't that important. Be clear on what you believe is the moral or valued way of thinking and acting. Stick to your guns. And T, be truthful. Don't lie, don't make excuses, don't act helpless when you're not. Be truthful. F-A-S-T, fair. Be fair, no apologies, stick to values, and be truthful. Those are the skills to help you keep respect for yourself. So I know I kind of breezed through those quickly, but thank you for joining us this month. Part 2 of the Interpersonal Effectiveness module. These skills are so important to help you in your interpersonal relationships. Stay assertive rather than aggressive or passive. So I hope you'll practice these skills along with the guided meditations. And as always, stay kind to yourself.